You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop I, with Mr. Coop I, with Mr. Coop I. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Coop I, from Mr. Coop I, from Mr. Coop I. Hang with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop I, with Mr. Coop I, with Mr. Coop I. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Coop I, from Mr. Coop I. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Season 8 still going strong, people. If you haven't, make sure you go to thebigscoopwithcoop.com to catch episodes from Season 1 all the way to Season 8. Big shout outs to everybody that's watching right now on Facebook, facebook.com/The Big Scoop with Coop. Also, big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Instagram, IGTV, baby. Make sure you catch me there at Big Scoop with Coop. Also on YouTube, go to youtube.com, look for the Big Scoop with Coop. Make sure you click like and subscribe also so you can keep up with the latest things that's coming out. Now, today's guest, he is a songwriter. He is actually a producer, singer. He does it all. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Jordan. Will is doing big things right now. He's actually a Grammy-nominated songwriter. He has worked with the likes of Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Jason Derulo. He's worked with a lot of people. He also have a video that's out. It's called Back to Me. We're about to check that out in 1 minute. After the video, let's catch up with Will. Let's see what he's up to. All right? Enjoy this video. I'll be right back to you. And then it'll be the one and only Mr. Will Jordan.
So this is what you've been doing the whole time?
You broke my heart, Will.
This is why you haven't been answering my calls?
You stopped calling me.
We're supposed to be on a break and you've been doing this the whole time with him?
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I've been by your side while you chase your dreams, and all you ever talk about is how you want the best for me. And I've waited. I always cheered you on. Why can't you just be happy for me for once?
I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to argue anymore about this. Whenever you're done with whatever this is supposed to be, you know where to find me, but I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Will.
Goodbye, Mala.
Will.
Of course, we are back, people. And like I said, you just saw that awesome video about Will. You see what the man looked like. You see him right here on the screen right now.
Hey.
You also saw Back to Me. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Will Jordan. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good. It's things have calmed down since we dropped the project, so I'm getting a chance to sneak a few more naps in, but I'm still writing and working on music and trying to stay busy.
Man, you better get that nap in, dog. You need that sleep. Make sure you get that rest. Make sure you get the rest. Hey, guys, ladies and gentlemen worldwide, just to let you know, this was not planned. We didn't call each other and said we're going to wear the same hat. No. So it just happened. It just happened. Now, Will, you've done a lot in your career. I mean, Grammy nominated songwriter, you've done so much. But everybody around the world right now wants to know, how did this start for you? When did you first realize that you wanted to get into the music industry?
Well, I think music. First, thank you for having me. This is awesome. I think music was kind of just always a part of my life. My parents listened to music all the time growing up. All my siblings are musicians or singers. I'm the son of a preacher, and we did all the music for our church, like the little gospel Jackson 5. So it was just always a part of just life in general. I think I started taking it more seriously once I got in high school. That's the first time I got to use Pro Tools, and the first time I got to like collaborate with other people in my school and kind of just like see what it would be like to do music full time. And then after high school, I started engineering and working in the studio, and that's when stuff started to kind of get real for me.
Wow. Now, I tell a lot of people, especially in the music industry, if you have that passion when you're a child, dealing with music, it's going to follow you into adulthood. And you're actually a living testimony of this. Look at you now. Started out in the church, done your thing in school, and, and now you're at the level that you're at now. But, when you jump from church and not jump from church, like leaving church, but when you jump from that level, you jump from that level to where you are now, what type of hurdles did you go through, to get to where you at today?
I think the biggest hurdle was just developing myself and finding myself. I was so influenced by like so many other artists and so many people that I liked that I found myself trying to just emulate and do what I heard them doing, which is what a lot of people do. And then I'm also from the area called Hilltop in Tacoma, Washington, and it was a pretty rough neighborhood growing up. So the stuff I heard about and the stuff I saw people doing, I thought that's what I was supposed to make music about, and that's what I was supposed to rap about. So I think the biggest thing was like really finding my voice and finding really like accepting and owning my own story and who I was and my own personality, and like not trying to be the coolest guy all the time, or I'm not always the guy that gets the girl. I wasn't the most successful person. And I think learning how to like find the good in that and how to like to focus in on my real life and write about my real story helped me to kind of really find myself and become a real artist.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen watching worldwide right now, make sure you take notes right here for Will. Will is dropping jewels. If you feel like you get into the music industry and you want to do this, you better pay attention to this. Seriously, pay attention. Now, you found yourself, Will, and I know that wasn't an easy thing to do. I mean, anybody that's trying to get into any type of industry and you're trying to master what you're doing, like you said, step one is to find yourself. So I know it was hard for you. Did you have any type of mentors to help you out to get to finding yourself?
Absolutely. I've had plenty of mentors. Just from like growing up in church, the musicians, like my older brother played keys. There were other people that played instruments and things like that would kind of guide me and give me tips and advice. And then after I got out of high school, I started recording at that recording studio in downtown Tacoma called Platinum Rain. There was a guy there named Ruford Henderson that was always been like a mentor to me. It was kind of like Yoda for me. And he was the one that I would play records for him and play music for him. And I'd be so excited and so hyped about it. And he'd listen and say, okay, I see you trying to get started to maybe do something, but he would never so it humbled me in a lot of ways and helped me to realize like I have a lot of work to do, because it was strange because I would go back and forth from feeling like I was the chosen one to feeling like I couldn't do it. Like I would be hyped up and then I'd hear people's feedback to my music or on my music, and then I'd like want to quit because it was, I had just the wrong perception of where I was at. I thought I was ready and I was not. So people like that would kind of be honest with me and not just give up on me, but like say, okay, this isn't ready, but this is what you can do. They would give constructive criticism. Those are the people that really helped me the most. And a lot of A&Rs, a lot of producers and people in the industry kind of took me under their wing as well. So I try to do the same thing in return and help people out and give that same advice.
Nice. Big shout outs to Rupert if you watch it right now. Big shout outs to everybody that's actually helped Will out, because as you see, your hard work has paid off. I mean, he's done a lot of big things. We will talk about that later on in the show, but he's definitely done it. Now, Will, let me ask you a question. Do you feel that the people that's just starting out in the music industry, Do you feel like that they try to watch videos or they try to watch stuff that's on YouTube and imitate and think they're going to automatically get to where you are or even higher as an artist or even a songwriter? Do you feel that a lot of people think that imitation is the way to get there?
I think so, and I understand it because again, I did the same thing. Like you in the beginning, there's a phase where you just emulate and you see what other people are doing and you do the same things. Like my first beat, a lot of my first beats sounded like Lil Jon beats and Dr. Dre beats and Pharrell beats. It was like I would just try to do the exact same thing. But I think the more and that's a good way to learn the process and to learn like, because you got to know what the good stuff is. You want to copy the good stuff, but then after you get to a certain point where you can do those things, you got to take that time to find yourself. And that's a difficult thing because if I make beats that sound just like Timbaland, I know that people love this. I know this can work because I've seen it be successful. But when I got to take the risk and try something that nobody's done and do it my way, that might not work, and that can be scary for people. But you got to take that risk and take that leap and see what happens when you do your own thing. And if you do your own thing and it doesn't work out, then you just tighten it up and refine it. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is they do their own thing, it doesn't work, and then so they go back to what they know. But you got to take those L's and take those losses and turn them into lessons and use that information and move forward. So.
Yeah, I like that. I like what you just said. You take those L's and turn them into lessons. I like that. Take those losses, turn them into lessons. I'm going to steal that from you if you ain't copyrighted that.
Yeah, I probably took it for somebody else.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, please, like I said, take notes off of this, man, because he's went through it. He actually went from trying to imitate until he found himself. And, and it's a 50-50 thing, like you said, Will. 50% of the people will say, oh, snap, that's like a Timbaland beat. Let's rock with it. But the other 50% will be like, oh, another Timbaland beat. Or somebody trying to be like Tim.
Right.
Why am I paying this any mind? Where I can go to the authentic person itself and listen to what Tim got to do. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So take that leap, people, especially in the music industry. Don't be scared. And I'm going to ask you this, Will, because I want you to stop me if I'm lying on this. 100 no's equals 1 yes in this industry. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
This is something, and you cannot let no scare you away from your dream. You can't, because I can't speak for Will, but I believe that if Will would have heard the first note and ran away, he would not be where he's at today. There's no way he would have been there. No. He'd be like, you know what? I'll just listen to everybody else do their thing. So that's what I'm saying. Now, like we said, we heard that you found your voice. You had mentors to help you out. And all of that hard work paid off for you. Now, how excited were you when you actually got to work alongside artists like Nicki Minaj, Jason Derulo, all these guys out here, ladies and gentlemen out here that's doing big things? How excited were you when you first received this chance?
I mean, it changed my life. When we first got the news about Nicki, I was 21. I was living with my parents. My car was broke down. And I found out that I was going to have a child. I was going to be a dad. And so my daughter's mom gave me 3 months. Like, let's see what you can make happen in this span of time. And coming from Tacoma, Washington, where we haven't really seen nobody make it, especially not as a songwriter, as a producer, like I didn't know what was going to happen. So I was sending records and hearing a lot of no's. There was a whole lot of no's. And then going off from no to no to no to no. About 3 months later, we got that yes, and it changed my life. I was able to get a publishing deal, which made it so I could write songs for a living and pay my bills off of music. And if that hadn't happened, I was gonna have to go back to my old job working at the warehouse to try to make ends meet. So those opportunities were huge for me, and that was really like definitely a life-changing moment as far as just like being able to take care of myself and my family and provide, but also it gave me the confidence and it gave me some validation because you never know, like, is this just good in my head? Because there's some people that are born naturally gifted and naturally talented where everybody always knows, like, you're going to be the one, you're going to make it. I wasn't one of those people. For me, I had so much work to do in every area that I was used to hearing no, and I was used to rejection. And a lot of times I was the only person that believed in myself. So to hear that someone from outside of my world, somebody that to me only existed inside of the television, like Nicki and Rihanna, to hear that they liked what I did was like, okay, I can do this. Like, and somebody else believes I can do it too. If a million people from my city and from my area don't believe in what I'm doing, I know that these two people that have done way more than any of these people have, they agree with me and they like what I'm doing, so I should be all right.
Wow. So what was the personal experience like for you when you finally met up with these guys? What was it like?
So we actually that was a wild day. So the record got sent to them through a producer named J.R. Rodham and an A&R named Tommy Rodham. They were actually the ones in the studio with Nicki. So I didn't end up meeting Nicki until we got invited to a Grammy party in LA. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons that night. I remember being there and we walked into the party and it was in like this big movie studio and they had like decorated it and turned it into this like customized Young Money like mansion thing. I don't even know what it was, but it looked expensive. And I remember being in there and watching celebrities walking around. I remember watching, I think Mario was in there, and I was like, I had to keep telling myself this is really happening. My brain would not allow me to accept like the success and accept what was really going on. I kept thinking like this is fake, this is a setup. And I've heard people say that before when they said they have to pinch themselves to know it's real, but I'd never gone through that. I'd never experienced that before. And I was like, my brain, like all the years and years of doubt and years of rejection had built up so much that even being here with these people, I had to fight to accept that and to really like appreciate it and be in that moment. And I think when I actually met her, we got to take a picture with her and she gave me a huge hug, and when she knew who I was, that broke all those barriers and broke all those doubts and fears. And I was like, okay, this is really happening. I'm really here. This is really real. So that was an amazing, another life-changing moment for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Will, I mean, you have to rewind that back in your head, man.
Yeah.
To remind you of that. And what else can come for you? I mean, Will, you haven't hit the prime of your career yet, man.
Thank you.
That's the crazy part. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's so much that's for you right now. I mean, I don't want to sound like an old cliche-ish person or a generic person, but
yeah,
dude, you are a blessed person, man, to get from your neighborhood when nobody didn't believe in you all the way to, meet these guys. I'm not saying, being starstruck or anything, but that should be a reminder of saying, hey, I started here.
Right.
Now I'm here.
Right.
And I can get back here because I made it here.
Yeah.
So just remember, and this is and ladies and gentlemen, this is not playing what I'm saying right now. This is really in my heart. I got to get it out. Will, I'm just letting you know straight up, man. Whenever you feel like you're about to doubt yourself, first, God got you at first and foremost. Second, do not ever forget that night, because those people, they didn't forget you. Wow. They haven't. So you make sure you remember that. Right. Make sure. So whenever you feel like you're going down, nah, man, there's more for you, dog. There's more for you. Thank you. No doubt, Will. Now, Will, man, you met Nicki at that party. You met Dave, turned into a Young Money mansion, you might as well say. That's crazy. You pinched yourself to wake yourself up. You saw where you were at. Mm-hmm. Now, you did that. You met him, and then something else boomed in your life. Mm-hmm. Now, how did it feel for you, or how did it change your life when you actually became a Grammy-nominated songwriter, when it was official that you was Grammy?
I think that one of the things I did, I think before I ever got signed, or before any of that stuff happened, I looked up the odds of, like, there was like an article talking about why you're probably better off not trying to do this or go after this profession, like as a songwriter. And they're saying the odds of you placing a record with an artist were so ridiculous. The odds of that song even becoming a single are so, the odds of that single even selling are so ridiculous that sometimes it's better to just like find people that are local, which I think is true. I think it's important to invest in artists that you work around and people that you know. But I also I'll never forget that feeling and that challenge of like, well, why, like if it's happening to people, why couldn't I be one of those people? Why couldn't it be me? So for me, just getting a placement or me just getting on an album was already out of this world, and then like that song becoming a single was out of this world. That song, them putting Rihanna on the song was like, what? Nicki and Rihanna on the same song? This is insane. And then like the Grammy thing was just like was already like, we did it, we made it, and then that just added on top of it was unbelievable. And those are things that to me are important, because like there, where I'm from, again, there's people that are a million times more talented than me, that have like a way better singing voice, or way better songwriters, have way better equipment, I'm sorry, the people that have way all that stuff, but they don't have the equipment, they don't have the opportunities, they don't have the resources to do the stuff that I've been able to do. So for me, it's important that I go as far as I can, so I can come back and open these doors and provide those resources and opportunities for people that can't reach that stuff. There's people that I know, kids that came up with me that were musicians and that were super talented, that were with the wrong crowd in the wrong place at the wrong time, and their whole life has changed because of those situations. So I'm always trying to like do what I can to find as much success as I can, and gain as many accolades and open as many doors to show people that not only that it's possible, but to also be able to take those things back to my city and tell these people, like, if I can do this, you knew me growing up, you knew who I was, and you knew that I was too shy to even talk to people or look people in the eyes, and now you see me going here. So if I'm here, there's no excuse for you not to go miles and miles beyond where I'm at. So all those accolades and stuff to me, and all that success to me, really is just more fuel to inspire other people and try to get other people going, because it's dope to be successful, and but nobody wants to be successful alone. Like, it's great to have the greatest meal of your life and the biggest platter of your life at the biggest table at your life, but if you're eating it by yourself, what does that mean? So for me, all those things it's just like, okay, I did this. Now my city can be more proud of me. Now my family can be more proud of me. Now my friends can be more proud of me. I'm showing them that it wasn't the investment didn't return void. There was something gained from it. So.
Wow. Man, Will, big shout outs to you, man, because I'm in North Carolina. And the thing is, there are some people that have made it big in the industry, from music, the movie, to television, writers. And you know what? They turned their back. I'm not going to name any names, but they turned their back on their own state. Wow. And they got to Hollywood, or they went to LA, and they forgot all about the other people. So another piece of advice to you, Will, because you're already doing it, keep that humble head, man. Because what people don't know is God will knock you back down. If you get up there and you act like you don't know how to act right, that's the best way to put that. You're doing it. You're trying to open doors for people in your community, your city. Please continue to do that. I truly believe, Will, that there's another level of elevation that's going to hit you, and you're going to go up past Grammy nominated. It's coming. It's coming. But when that happens, do not forget the people that supported you, family, friends, associates. That don't mean just empty out your pocket and say, here, take everything I have. No, not saying that. Just don't forget the people, because some people have turned their back on people, and now they're starting to be forgotten. And they're wondering why is this happening to them. It's called karma. So I'm proud of you, man. Please continue to do what you're doing. You're doing great things. You're doing big things. Another plus, because you stole my idea for the hat, but I'll let it go. But no, man, for real though, you're doing big things. Like I said, I feel like it's another elevation that's going to come, and it's going to hit you. Now, I want your personal opinion about something. Do you feel like the genre of hip hop, R&B, pop has changed for the better or worse within the last 25, 30 years? How do you feel about it? That's a deep, tough question.
That is a tough question. I think it's changed. I can't say it was for the better. I think that there's advances in technology and things like that. I don't think we've taken advantage of all the opportunities and the innovations that have happened in that time. When I think about what it was like for someone like Michael or Marvin or Prince to record a demo, and the amount of work it took to get a song done, is insane. Like that's a lot of, and they had to use tape and like splice tape and do a bunch of just ridiculous stuff just to get something done. Where now I can literally just hit record and loop record and cut and paste and move stuff around and pitch stuff up and slow stuff down and all kinds of just crazy stuff. I can auto tune my vocals, so I don't even have to get a perfect take. I can just go for the take that has the most feeling and tune it, and that take works instead of having to sing it perfectly in tune and feel all the emotion in the recording. So I think that we could be doing more, but I also think that it's hard to there's also a challenge with being in just generation, this era too, because a lot of things that we want to do and things we want to talk about or things we're experiencing have been done before or talked about. So there's not a whole lot of new ideas to take on. So I love what's going on, and I hope that I can. My goal or my dream when it comes to my place in the music industry or my role in the industry would just be to like provide some balance. I can't say that something's bad or this kind of music is wrong or people are doing it the wrong way. I can only look at myself and say, well, what can I do to kind of tip the scale so that there's people have this to choose from and they can listen to this when they're in that mood, and then when they're not, they can come over here and listen to this. And then when things get too heavy on this side, I can slide to the other place and just kind of keep things level, and also be teaching and mentoring, because I feel like one of the things that may be missing or one of the things that we're lacking is just a standard and development. And a lot of people don't have the information. They don't know the value of the information. So I feel like it's on people like me who have the information, who've been blessed with good mentors and who've had the time in the studio to be able to learn and develop, to pass the information and that stuff down. If the people that are coming up under us aren't doing what we want them to do, to me, it falls on us to like be teaching them. Like if your kids are acting up and they're not following directions and they're wilding out at school, I can't get mad at them if they're my kids. So for me, like I just want to make sure that like, as much as I'm critical and as much as I'm frustrated about stuff, I need to also be like giving praise and acknowledging when stuff is good, and also doing my part in teaching and mentoring and all that kind of stuff.
Wow. And that's the road to success right there, Will. That is the road to success. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen worldwide is watching right now. Make sure you do go check out everything that Will is doing. Will has got some big things going on. And if you don't believe me, check this out. Now, Will, you done a music video, man. We saw a little piece of it, man. And back to me. How did this actually form in your head and actually get on screen, man? How did this actually happen for you?
It's a long story. This whole project has been just like, for me, it's been very cool because I've gotten to be nostalgic and kind of like do some of the stuff that I've always dreamed of doing. Like since I was a little kid, since watching I think it was the Ninja Turtles movie, the second movie, like one of the characters, it was like a pizza deliverer, but he could fight. He was like a kung fu master or something like that. And that was the dope. I was like, man, one day I want to grow up and deliver pizzas. That would be amazing. But like in high school, I could never, like all the places I applied for, they never wanted to hire me. And then from then on, I just went on to doing music. So this was my chance to like go back and do some things I always wanted to do. And when I was listening to this project, that was the kind of the first thing that sparked it. Was just like, it would be cool to show a perspective of just like a regular life and like working and doing like who I would be if I wasn't in music or if things had not worked out the way I wanted them to, and what it would be like. So in the beginning of the video, I'm talking about trying to make it and wondering what it would be like to be able to do music full time. But there's also things that inspired it just going on in the world right now. Like when you think of, there's a movie, I'm sure you've seen this movie before, Do the Right Thing. That was a big inspiration for it as well, with the pizza shop and all that stuff and the two slices. And the fact that things that were happening in that movie with the police brutality and all that stuff are still happening today, which is crazy because that was 30 years ago and it's still happening now in 2020. Also in my city where I'm from in Tacoma, there was a young man named Manuel Ellis who was murdered by police in a similar fashion, where he was suffocated on the streets and was begging them to let him breathe. So for me, it was just like, there's a lot of different things that tied into it. There's bittersweet. There's some things that are joyful memories. There's some things that are painful truths. But it's just about combining all that together and telling the story and doing it in a way where people can accept it and appreciate it and enjoy it. But also, so like you gotta. There's some painful stuff in there, so you try to balance it out with some sweet stuff and some humor. But at the end of the day, I want people to hear the truth of what's really going on and to know that that we still have work to do and things are not quite where we want them to be. So it's on us artists and us creatives to tell those stories and to build up those platforms for people that know what's going on and the leaders of the movement so that they can speak out and people can hear them.
Wow. Wow. Now, first and foremost, before I even go any further, everybody in Tacoma, I'm praying for you guys. That this police brutality is getting rough out here. I'm hoping and praying that things will change, all over. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for anybody, family, friend, associate, seeing that person that knew that person that was getting suffocated, on the streets, getting killed. And this stuff is going on all around, and people just feel like a lot of policemen feel like that's just something normal to do. Come on, y'all. Let's get our minds right. We got to get this right. We get this right. We get the heart right. We will all be right. That's how I really feel about that. Everybody. Oh yeah. No. Will, how can everybody see this video?
Oh yeah. On my YouTube, just look up Will Jordan Music. If you go to my website, willjordanmusic.com, my Instagram, Will Jordan Music, Twitter, Will Jordan Music. It's kind of brand continuity where we just keep the same name on everything. But if you just look up Back to Me by Will Jordan, you can find it pretty much anywhere. I hope you all check it out, and I hope you enjoy it. I got to get my acting on. That's another one of my childhood dreams, was to be an actor. So it was cool to be able to spend some time behind the camera. And it's so much harder than what it looks, because you, like in the studio, we have to do something similar where you have to capture that emotion and capture that feeling and be believable. But nobody can see what I'm doing. So I can look crazy in the studio and make whatever expressions or faces or gestures I want to. But on camera, every single thing you do, like, it has to be intentional. So I learned a lot from that, and I'm trying to take some of those skills and different things I learned and apply them to my music as well. But yeah, you can find it anywhere on YouTube. I believe on Vimeo as well. Just look up Will Jordan, Back to Me.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to YouTube. Go check out Back to Me. That's one thing you want to go do. Don't do it right now.
No.
We're watching this interview. After the interview,
yes.
Go to YouTube. Check it out. Make sure you click that like button, because I'm telling you, I didn't show you the full video, but you saw how hot that was when I showed you. Yeah. Go check the full thing out. You have to do that. Now, Will, also to add to your repertoire, man, Be Good.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about it, man. What's up with Be Good? How did this actually come up?
There's two stories. One of the stories is I follow a guy on Instagram named Spice Adams, who's like he's hilarious. I don't know even what to call him, if he's what he is, but he just does really funny skits and he's really funny. So I was watching his videos, and a lot of his beats are produced by a guy named E. Jones, and I loved his production, so I followed him. And then from E. Jones' point of view, he was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and I think it was their first Spotify episode, they played one of my songs called Sweet Dreams at the end of the show. So he heard that and came and found me. So we both found each other, and he was like, yo, what do you think about doing like a 7-song EP? And I was already a fan, and I loved his music and I loved his production. And I had never actually worked with a producer on an album before or EP before. So I was excited about the idea. So he sent me a track. I wrote to it. He loved what I did, and we just started going back and forth. And after that, we ended up with Be Good, this was it was so fun to make. And it's been amazing, like, just watching people's responses to it.
Wow. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he is from my state. Well, he's staying here right now. He's in North Carolina.
Yes, yep. Yeah.
I think he's in Raleigh, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Watching, man. Yeah. I know about you, man. I know about you. Big shout outs to you. Big shout outs to you. Now, how can everybody actually check out Be Good? What's the best way for them to check that out?
So, I mean, every platform is on all the Apple Music, Amazon, Tidal, Spotify. Now, Tidal pays the best, like, as far as percentages go. So if you want us to get that 0.00067 cents off of each stream, Spotify, we love Spotify. But whatever platform you prefer, whatever your favorite one is, we're on there. And the biggest thing you can do to help us, if you really want to support, is like add those songs to the playlist, even if it's just my song on the playlist. Putting that song on the playlist and liking the songs and following us on those different platforms is really good for algorithms, and it helps other people to find us and for us to get ourselves out there. And I understand, like, a lot of people, when they hear you the first time, they want to kind of keep you to themselves, or they want to discover you and be like the only fan. But which I'm cool with that. I appreciate that. And at the same time, if I'm gonna be able to make more music, I need things to keep growing and moving forward. So like I appreciate all the support and just yeah, if you can follow me on all those platforms and send. I have a lot of songs that you can send to your exes. I got songs that you can send to your girlfriends, your wives, all that stuff. I got music for the whole family and all your friends. So share it and subscribe.
Wow. As you heard, Will is a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So if you want to bust your ex in the face, go check them out. If you got something for your girlfriend that's sweet, go check them out. Make
Right,
sure
right.
you do go check them out. Now, you talking about following. That's a good, I'm glad you said that. What is the best way for everyone to follow you on social media?
Oh yeah. Again, I tried to keep all my names similar. So Instagram is Will Jordan Music DAN, and you kind of see where the Bulls and all that stuff comes from. This is my older brother's name was Michael Jordan too, so I've always been a big Jordan fan. Yeah. But yeah, follow me on Instagram, Twitter at Will Jordan Music. If you have questions or ideas or want to collab or any of that kind of stuff, leave a comment or hit me in my DMs. I try to keep track of what's going on in there. It's been kind of crazy lately, but
I believe it.
yeah, because David Banner shouted us out the other day, so then my followers went out of control and comments and stuff. So I'm trying to keep up with what's going on. So many people have been supportive and have been posting it. So, but yeah, everybody that's new to the party, you're more than welcome. I love all the people that join in and support, whether you've been there since day one or if you're joining in just now. But yeah, I try to follow back. If I can't follow back, I'll still be liking your pictures and responding and stuff as well. But yeah, Will Jordan Music on all the platforms.
Nice, nice. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do go follow Will. You want to make sure you want to keep up with him on social media because you don't know what's going to happen next. Like I told you, I truly believe that's another elevation for this man right here. And as you see, David Banner just shouting him out. And now all of you guys jumping on the social media, I'm glad you're doing it. Tell your family, your friends, your associates, even tell your haters to tune in to Will. You want to make sure he keeps going the way he's going. Now, Will, I know you are a very busy person. I'm not going to hold you up much longer, but what advice would you give any male or female that wants to become a songwriter, a producer, a singer, a rapper? What advice would you give them?
I would say I'd break it up into three parts. I would say first, work on yourself and like develop yourself, develop your mind, get your heart right. Like all the way down to like your diet and what you're eating and drinking and taking in. Because if at the core of who you are, I believe that your career can never go beyond your character. And if it does, it ends up crushing you sometimes. When people find success that's bigger than what they're ready to handle, a lot of times that's the end of their careers or sometimes their lives. So really focus on making sure that you're ready, making sure that when success turns you into more of what you are, that you are actually what you want to be. Because if you're not quite there yet, and if you don't have it all together yet, and you find that success and you find that unlimited freedom to do whatever you want, but you don't have your wants under control, then you can just sometimes hurt yourself or hurt other people. Second would be to develop your craft and work on your craft, master your craft. And then third, I would say to just focus on being yourself. If you are your true self and the self you want to be, and you've mastered that craft, you've mastered whatever it is you want to do, whether that's a producer, whether it's a manager, whether it's a songwriter, whether it's a director or a writer or a scientist, whatever that is. When you combine those two things together, that creates effortlessness where you can do what you want to do. And like, for example, as a singer, if you're doing scales and you've mastered your voice and you really know your voice, you can sing and not have to worry about trying to be in tune or worry about doing something in pitch because you have the muscle memory down. So you can go in there and just put out pure emotion and put out pure feeling, and that's what connects with the audiences. That's what breaks through the different what do they call them, force fields that people put up. Like if you're singing and you're putting your heart and soul into it, it's hard for people to deny that. So master yourself, master your craft, and then just focus on being yourself and being your true self. And I think the right doors will open for you at the right time.
Wow. I like that. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, worldwide, make sure you do what he just said. Practice, know yourself, and you got to have patience and faith, people.
Yeah.
It's not going to come overnight. As you heard Will's testimony earlier, his story, he was going in the studios and they were looking at him like, okay, You tried, good job, and he jumped up to doing stuff with Nicki. I mean, Rihanna. I mean, Jason. There's so many, and like I told you, it's so much more. And this could be you too, people. Make sure you don't give up on your dreams. Master, like you said, your character is what's going to take you to where you are. Make sure you do that. Now, Will, last segment of the show, man. It's called Take the Floor. So you have up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want to say. No questions asked. Will, take the floor.
This is dangerous for me because I'm good at rambling and going off on tangents. I know Christina is probably like, please just keep it short and sweet. Will, do not go off. I would say maybe with my 2 minutes, what can you tell me about the industry where you're at? You said that there's people that like have like found success and then left. Like, are there people still around that are opening doors for people and helping people out? Like what is the climate like out there? Because I know there's a lot of artists that are popping off right now from where you're from. Is it like is it a lot of people that have the potential talent, or is it just a few people here and there that get lucky? Like, how does it work out there?
Well, here in the music, well, I'm going to talk about a few different industries, from the music to television to movie,
Right.
and circle it right back around. And that's interesting. I like how Will just flipped that 2 minutes to take the floor back on me.
Well, yeah,
You're the first person in history that done that. You're the first person in history that done that. I like that, though. So here in North Carolina, you have a lot of people that was well known, like, for example, P.D. Pablo. You had other people that has came through this independent, that has been working day and night to get their craft to where they are. There's a lot of people still waiting for that door to open, but some of the people that have opened their doors have went on and worked with other people. There's a lot of people, I'm trying to keep names nameless as much as I can, because if I name one and they see it, they'll be like, why you didn't mention me? So that's what's going to be kind of harder. It's on the tip of my tongue not to say a name, but I want to, but I'm not. There's some people, like I said, from the east part of eastern North Carolina, all the way to the west. And if he's watching this, he can testify to this also. There's a lot of people that's got pure raw talent. I mean, to spit straight freestyle, or they can get a pen and they can write, but they're sitting there like, who do I send this to? How do I get this out here?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people don't want to use the local talent because they feel like they're just going to be localized on a local community mixtape that you can find in the juice store and a mom and pop store, and feel like it's not going to go any further. I do like how you just said, if you want to collab with you, hit you up, a lot of people are waiting for opportunities for that to happen for them. And you're opening doors, and a lot of other people are opening doors. But then you have some people in the music industry that say, I made it, I'm shutting this door and locking it. Good luck trying to find that key to get in the way I got in. And they want to feel like they're the only solo person that made it out of this state. Now, I'm not just speaking North Carolina. This happens all over. You probably seen it in your area also, that people get this much talent and they get their big toe inside the door, not the full foot, just the big toe. And now they feel like they're Jay-Z. I mean, it's like, come on, people, get your mind right, collab, work together. Trust me, you're not going to take this person's money away or their food away just because you made it. You know what I'm saying? It's all into one. Television and movie industry. Same thing. There's some people that I know of and that I know that have made it to Hollywood from here. Even sports figures that I've seen that don't even admit that they actually came from North Carolina. And they feel like that they are in LA, or they feel like they're in New York. I'll just name the different states to cover it up because they're watching the show. They know I'm talking about them. I'm trying not to do that. Yeah.
Oregon, Missouri,
Oregon,
Montana,
Missouri, Florida, Canada, Europe. You might be in Africa playing with the trees. I'm telling you, they made it, and now they're like, oh yeah, I go visit North Carolina, but I don't know nothing about North Carolina. But to stop rambling, people are being humble that's trying to get in. And then there's some people that made it that have been humble. But there's some that said, like I said before, they don't know you anymore. Me personally, the level I'm at, I'm always going to try to keep a humble head because of I was born that way. I was raised that way. That's something that was put in me. So if I elevate, if I get further in life, if I get further where I'm at, I need to stop saying the word if, when I get further. I'm not going to look back and say, oh, I don't know these people. No, it's always going to be, hey, let me give you a hand. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is. It's a mix. In North Carolina, it's a mix 50-50. People feel like if they just rap in the street, sing in the street, and just making it to their juice store, they made it.
Right.
Yeah. But I just wish those people that raw talent would take that and run the extra mile. I think they just need some guidance or just say, hey, I'm over here. I can get you to here instead of you just staying right there.
That's my goal for myself and my peers as well. Like for us all to like look after the next generation and to teach them those things and help to like create a blueprint or pipelines so that people with the raw talent can process that and turn it into something they can use and something they can live off of. I think that's better. That's good for everybody. The more everybody eats, the more food is ready. So like I can definitely relate to that scene. It's very similar to Washington State and the Pacific Northwest in general. So I'm hoping that we can figure it out. And if I've learned anything, I'll pass it on to you and vice versa.
That's what I'm talking about. Will, thank you very much for coming on the show. I really enjoyed you. I would love to have you back on in the future.
For sure. Yes, please. Yes. That sounds amazing.
Nice. Now, everybody, once again, make sure you do go check out Will. Follow him on social media. Go to Spotify. Follow his music. Like you said, hit like, put it to your playlist. You want to make sure you do all of this. Support him. It does not cost you anything to hit that button just like that to add it to your playlist. Do it. Make sure you support. Follow him. Bigger things is about to come to him. You see what he's done already. Now it's time for step 2. It's going from here to here with Will. Just continue to follow him. All right, people. Next guest, I'm not going to announce. You have to stay tuned. So make sure you stay tuned to the next episode of the Big Scoop with Coop. Until next time, everybody.